that, you can die really quickly. Same thing for DK's what is it called, Dragon Blood. So you lose your armor and regen too. So yeah, Viper is definitely a scalable hero in this match. And it's not going to be like one of those pushovers where it's like you make it past 30 minutes, he feels safe. He doesn't work like that anymore.
Okay. Good to know. Good to keep our eyes on. Everybody was sort of talking about Viper being a really good matchup against DK with the new changes to Nether Toxin, but it's really not proved out to be the case that much, because ends up happening, as you were mentioning last game, even if you Nether Toxin, you just walk outside of it, he still gets his regen back, and then he's able to outlast hit you with the Quelling Blade.
So this is like a mid matchup thing for Viper. The old Viper did better against DK than he does now in the lane. Right. So in the lane, the Viper would use Nether Toxin as a means of last hitting back when it was his passive. And now you can't do that. And because DK has a huge amount of armor and innate regen, and Nether Toxin is based on how much health you're missing, if he never lets himself get that low, you're never going to deal any damage to him. And if you're like, 1-0-2 and you have 2 points into your Dragon's Blood at level 3, and you have a Stout Shield and Pool of Tangos, you're just not really going to get that much damage. And now because of the Breathe Fire talent level 10, and also affecting like all forms of damage instead of just like base damage, you just can't kill him at all. It's really during the mid game where you have that magical damage output that you can really start to make him suffer.
Well, top lane, they're going to lose this Dark Willow again, who was going for the normal type of build. It is going to enable the Underlord to pull this creep wave all the way past. A little bit delayed, and it does mean that also this PL is going to be keeping this other creep wave back by his tower. So we'll still be into the favor eventually of the Dire team, but it looks like they're going to be able to deny out some of this experience as well from the PL and last stage potential.
Yeah, it's not like a
courier?
Oh dear.
That ain't good.
That's one you hate to see. He just casually walks it in and gets it killed. That's a rough one, especially considering he's pretty much getting dual laned right now.
He got his salve though. Can't let him down for that.
I mean, to be honest, if it was any other hero than DK, I would think it would be way worse, right? Because you're against the Viper.
Yeah.
But this is probably the one hero where, yeah, his courier died. His team's probably not too happy about it, but he himself will probably be fine.
Yeah. Blizzy again trying to dodge away from these heroes as he has now gotten level 2 and can throw out some firestorms if he wants, but it's always that double-edged sword of pushing the wave. But we'll have to see how it works out. As Bignum is going to try and get some stacking done for his cores. Because he had to take that stomp level 1, he's not going to be able to get 2 simultaneously, but should still be able to get something. Maledict onto Blizzy. Only level 1. He's going to walk it off, but take a little bit of harassment for his trouble.
Yeah, the Witch Doctor is actually very good at zoning this hero, just because he has such a high amount of base damage, and just getting the value point into Maledict early and just hitting him with attacks puts him at such a low amount of HP that he was even forced to use the salve here. So, I mean, jungling on Underlord this early is not really super fast, but if they're doing a full tri-lane and not showing supports and you can't really, sit there and reliably stay alive, then this is pretty much your only option.
Yeah. He can go for maybe a stack over here once he finishes off this camp as well, and then build that up for later. But definitely doesn't feel great. I guess he's just gonna have to finish it off and then head back. But more stacks gonna be built up here. Vanscore trying to get it. He might miss this one. He is.
Yeah, he pulled it a little bit too late.
But as far as the more macro expanse, it does look like BZZ is going to get dove under the tower here. No points in stun right now, so not able to turn it back around, and he will live through that one, although Undershock going back in under the tower while the Rubik is being chased. Rubik's dead, and Undershock's not careful yet. He's going to TP away from there.
That is a no-fear TP. Like, not only did he TP in front of them, but he TP'd to his tower knowing that he was going to get his TP off in time. Is a little bit of a cute play, but yeah, he lost the Rubik in the meantime, so a little bit of a bummer for Shioma. Let's see, anything else really important going on right now? It's pretty much just a lot of farming. It's another one of those games where the movement from the supports on the side of Vega is probably not going to be super pronounced until later, and they're just kind of waiting for a couple of levels before they do much. Mostly just reactionary.
And I guess it's just keeping our eyes on how much they're able to get out of the laning stage and where eventually they go. It does look like bottom. They're going to spin here onto Cheshire Cat, who's taunting away, but it will come at the cost of his life. And Bignum, if he's not careful, ended up taking a nice little chunk of damage himself. So we'll be able to walk away from it, though, with the...
top Blizzy.
Dive for that one. Yeah, he's going to fall. So Underlord dying. Both off lanes dying.
It's a struggle, man. I think that both off lanes are equally as hard in this game. Like the Willow into the Jug is really hard to get away from. Like if the Cursed Crown gets cast on you or whatever, when he skills and he puts down a Bramble, you can't really TP. Because you're just gonna take way too much damage. The stun's gonna hit you, and then you're just gonna fall over it. So it's a rough one.
Speaking of Willow, BZZ gonna try and dodge through those brambles, but they're gonna pull him back into it for the root. The sleep is gonna be there to turn it though, and Cask bouncing. Looks like they are going to try and now turn on to Bignum. No mana left on Undershock really. So everybody's low, but nobody's dying. Does have sick charges if he wants to continue to chase forward for this one. Vanscore low. It's gonna get out again.
Did he get an uphill miss there? I swear he missed one of those attacks, like when he was walking towards him.
Yeah, he might have.
Maybe I just imagined it. Maybe I'm just way too tired.
Thanks for staying up and casting, my dude.
No, that's all good. I actually wanted to cast the game. It's just I realized after I agreed to it what time I actually had to be there, and I was like, oh dear.
That's the way of it, isn't it? Well, now, Mr. Blizzy, Mr. Slayer, they are going to be heading across, picking up some runes. And 6-minute mark. Still, like you said, no great rotations yet, although they are going to be able to do something here onto Vanscore, who's just going to walk away from them again. Level 6s, anything we should really be watching out for? As Blizzy's getting ran at again. Stun. Stomp to follow. He's taking a lot of damage from this one. Going to try and TP away from them. Looks like he'll live as he gets back home.
So as far as level 6s go, oh, another kill actually happening mid lane. BZ goes down, double damage there on the Willow. But level 6, like Viper and Jug are probably the biggest two that are going to happen early, and then Zayax will be after that. His is probably the next most influential on the side of Vega. And then obviously for Gambit, you're looking for Split and Deathward. Like those are... I guess DK ulti is also kind of important, but it's not like that big, fancy spell. It's I'm a dragon, I'm just gonna hit this building. It's not like who's getting hyped for that? Come on.
For sure, I'm with you. Cheshire Cat is in a world of trouble, and well, Platmos trying to find him. Oh God. Well, with all the vision in the world, we know what happened there. Meanwhile, top lane, they're going forward for Blizzy, who's gonna get stunned, gonna get Maledict. The cast bouncing. Oh, and Zayak. They're going to throw the Cursed Crown out. Not going to be able to do all that much, though, onto the PL. They will find the kill onto the Witch Doctor. While bottom lane, Latimos not really able to push for the tower.
Radiant structures are fortified.
We were talking about the off lanes a bit earlier and how it was going to be like one of those rough lanes for both of them, but Cheshire Cat's still getting way more out of his lane than Blizzy. Like, way more. This is level 3 Underlord. He doesn't have boots yet. It's almost 8 minutes. Cheshire Cat's gonna get his level 6, I think, before Blizzy's even level 5. And that means the first he's gonna be able to split and probably have it like almost off cooldown by the time that Blizzy's able to really do much.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's real rough. And Blizzy's Soul Ring, he can sort of farm here, but yeah, it's a really, really rough go, and this PL getting more and more stacked up. See what Vega Squadron's response is to that. I guess the flip side is that you have a Dark Willow that's getting a lot, who's level 4 right now. And almost, still a little ways away from the Veil, 1,400 gold.
That's like one of their main sources of damage too. But it's a very heavy magic damage team, right? Like BKBs are going to become ridiculously good against Vega's lineup at some point in the game.
Yeah.
And that's something that you're always going to have to keep in mind is like, okay, what's our timing? That puts a little bit of pressure on them, right? Because if you know that BKBs are going to hurt you, you've got to do something substantial within like the first, 25, 30 minutes at least.
Right. And still no towers falling for the Dire at all. Radiant have lost that offlane tower as the PL is continuing to just farm super aggressively. Might be worth it to think about rotating somebody there to try and mess with them a little bit. Well, DK's been able to keep his tower alive. But PL's having a whale of a time.
Yeah, he knows that it's very difficult for Vega to really kill him. And I think that's one of the big... I don't want... Like, it is a weakness because you just pick all these teams that don't have any catch, right? Like, there's just no punish for walking to a tier 2 tower because you just don't have a hero that can get in your face and stun you.
Yeah.
I mean, at some point that might happen.
Dire are scanning.
Undispellable there with the Poison Strike, but dealing a lot of damage to Undershock, and they just take him down. PL just killed him.
He actually had a TP. I'm not sure why he didn't use it, but maybe he just didn't expect to die that fast. Because he had spawned the illusions before.
Right.
Yeah, they're gonna find ban score as well. But,
Radiant's top
wow, that was
tower is
awkward.
under attack.
Yeah, that was really weird. I really like this PL's build, though. You take a look at it. Going 3 points in Doppelganger and, like, only 1 in Spirit Lance means that he's got, like, a ton of this physical damage and that survivability that you were talking about. With, you know, so many points up in it as mid lane. They're able to find a catch there onto Blizzy, and they're going to pop the ulti for this one even. Zayak shows up. Not level 6 yet. He's going to get lifted by the Storm Panda. Blizzy's still living to this somehow. And we'll get off one more Firestorm, it looks like, but eventually going to fall. And now, the DK ultimate going as well. They're going to be able to find the Stomp, take down the Dark Willow, and Gambit starting to fire on all cylinders.
Yeah, this is looking like a much more solid attempt here in game number 2. They even got the DK ult for him here, getting some chip damage on the tier 1. But, you know, Vega aren't just taking this one on the chin. They've got the Jug on the top lane. He's got a cart wave and 2 full creep waves on top of that. So even if they get some damage on the tier 1 mid, they're going to be trading like more or less equally. Bottom dive here on the Blizzy.
Poor old Blizzy. Manscore's taking a lot of damage as well, and Undershock should be able to clean up. But again, it's this PL that gets out and almost has the Diffusal Blade as ET rotated in to try and deal with the Juggernaut, who does have spin TP.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And it's just going to keep on pushing. They know that he knows that they can't kill him.
Yeah, this is just the no BKB disable that you were talking about earlier. Or I guess I should say magic immune disable.
Yeah.
It is a bit concerning, though. The PL has pretty much been completely unchecked this entire game. Like, he's out farming the Jug by a fair margin. It's only 12 minutes in, and he's got, like, what, 20 more CS? That doesn't sound like a lot, but it is.
Yeah. Almost 1,000 gold ahead of him. Well, mid lane, the dive forward and the kill there on the BZZ. Sometimes you just get Omni Slash under your tower.
Yeah, that was a pretty long dive, actually. Like, he didn't die to just the Omni, it was also the Willow damage. Like, he got everything, more or less. And they also get the tier 1 offlane, so, you know, they're just taking it right back. This is much more of the Dota game that I was kind of expecting in game 1, and less of just like a complete steamroll.
Cheshire Cat, bottom lane, still 10 seconds before his ulti comes out, and they're breaking that passive. Still chasing, but they're not going to be able to find the kill. Nonetheless, tower down. He's off the map again, but top lane, rather, is still pushing out. Blizzy coming in to defend it. This has just been his life. He goes to a tower, gets punched a lot, then pops Firestorm.
Yeah, he's on the struggle bus for sure. This is not his happy place. I mean, fortunately, you know, he is starting to catch up. He does have a little bit more farming capability than his off-lane opponent, aka the Brewmaster, so he'll be able to recover as long as he doesn't keep getting picked.
PL chasing again with the Witch Doctor there. That should be a kill. Couldn't get a Dark Rift or anything off, but meanwhile the Bedlam dealing the damage that they can to Vanscore. He's down. He's dead. Bignum also going to fall here as Platimos chases him down. And Vega Squadron, they continue to sacrifice the Underlord, but they'll take that.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, the 2-for-1 is definitely okay. I mean, I'm sure Blizzy himself isn't super happy with it, but at some point you got to make your death actually worth something, and that was probably one of the only ones that was. So, progress.
Progress. Absolutely. Well, Platimos wrapping around here. He does spot out the PL. The big battle of the cores as the chase is going to come. They have Doppelganger. Needs to be careful here. Omni Slash back off cooldown. He pushed that to the limit.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Looks like the PL will escape.
Radiant's bottom
He did the
tower is
math.
under
He knew he
attack.
was alright.
Yeah.
But the defusal straight into Manta, this is like the... I don't know what you would call it. It's like the grandfathered build, more or less. Just everyone did this build forever.
Yeah.
And then there was a short stint where people were doing Battle Fury because it was bugged with illusions and it gave you some percentage bonus damage. And then they fixed it and now everyone's back to just doing defusal Manta again.
Yeah.
But the problem with this build is that against heroes like Juggernaut, you actually still have a hard time like beating him in a right-click trade when he goes this like AoE cleave build.
Yeah.
If he builds the correct items this game, so he might go for Manta, AC, stuff like that. You can burn all his mana, but that doesn't mean you're gonna kill him.
Right. And I like this play as well. Underlord throws out the Firestorm. It's going to kill off this whole creep wave, and then he's going to go mid. So they're sort of like quasi-defending bottom while simultaneously going to push out the mid lane and look to take down this last tier 2 tower.
Is under attack.
You mean tier 1, yeah.
Tier 1. There it is.
It's alright. Don't worry about it.
We're
here
doing
we're bringing each other up, Gabe. That's how this works.
I like it. Absolutely. Oh, man. And finally getting some gold into Blizzy. He's got himself a Hood of Defiance now. The Veil is there for Zayak. Things are starting to feel up for Vega Squadron a little bit. While meanwhile, bottom lane, this slow creep of power of this PL is going to... I mean, how big of a problem is it, PL getting like this farm?
I mean, he was always going to get farm in this game. He was, what, overall 10th pick?
Yeah.
So he's going to have a good game. And I think that they have ways of dealing with it. Like, they have good illusion clear. They got the Firestorm. They're going to have a Jug with the Battle Fury. They have Spin on top of it. So, I mean, it's obviously something that they're concerned about, but it's also something that's just going to happen.
Right.
Like, that hero is going to get farmed. You have to find a way to play around it. And I think they do have the tools necessary for that.
Top lane, they're going now on Platimos. Gonna need to spin TP away. It's a lot of physical damage. Almost take him down there. But he does manage to get out. The TP away as well by the Dark Willow. Everybody abandons ship and they get away.
It's a nice little play there. They end up getting to tier 2. So that was, again, a 2-for-1 tower trade. Tier 2 top and tier 1 mid for just tier 1 in the bottom lane. That being said, I think Gambit established a bit more vision than Vega were able to. They actually commit 3 full wards. And did they lose one of them? Wait, I could have. It must have just died as I said that, because I'm almost certain there was a 3rd ward, unless I'm way too tired. Which I don't think I'm that tired yet. I'm definitely not hallucinating.
I'm with you. Hallucinating wards. Yeah, it definitely is feeling like they have that vision over there on the side, and well, they're gonna actually try and chase down Blizzy again. All the illusions heading off this direction. They have the blink on Cheshire Cat, and it looks like Radiant again want to try and trade out as they're gonna smoke mid lane underneath a ward. That one will be scouted while Blizzy going to die top again. Does have the Dark Rift, doesn't want to use it here though. The Maledict should be enough to bring him down, I think, as Undershock takes down BZZ again. Is he actually going to die to this? He lives.
No, he's got the hood, man. He had the hood active during the
okay.
They couldn't keep committing because he had already popped the split and they couldn't chase him because of the Pit of Malice, so yeah. He actually walks away. He's done it.
Hey. And now bottom lane is pushing in. You know, I'm getting flashbacks to the last game where it was suddenly just their racks were gone on Gambit. Like, how worried are you right now? The break is there. They found themselves a split. No. It's not going to be there. Cheshire Cat's going to fall.
Oh, that was a really bad TP.
They have Blizzy again in the top lane, so that one might be enough now. He does have stick charges and his hood active in 6 seconds. Tries to live, and he actually makes another surviving play.
I don't know if that 6 saved his life, but it was real close. Like, I think the offset of the Maledict damage from the heal might have saved him. Like, obviously in conjunction with the fact that it just gave him health, but
yeah,
it's happening. He defended the tier 2. Dave's team got the tier 2 in the off lane. They killed the Brewmaster.
And
I don't know how this keeps happening.
What part of it don't you know?
So, like, they start the game, they have this really farmed PL. No one on the side of Vega can really, like, directly deal with him right now. But they just aren't taking, like, these decisive fights. They're not getting the objectives. It seems like Vega's, like, outmaneuvering them, getting more out of the map, even though it feels like Gambit have the fight superiority. It just feels like this happens every single, or I shouldn't say every single, but both games so far.
Yeah. Well, and now with this, again, like, and it's things where it's like, BZZ dies underneath his tier 2 tower when they saw the smoke that was coming mid, right? Like, and
yeah,
now...
but that's one thing, but the way that Cheshire Cat TP was also really bad.
Yeah.
Like, that should definitely not happen.
Well,
and now they just lose another hero.
And Scorer dies to the smoke gank. It looked like he was trying to break it and then TP out, but didn't really have the opportunity to do that. Meanwhile, Panda does have a TP to get back home, but this is feeling like it might be a pretty significant push here.
I'll take that as tribute.
Blizzy gonna do one wave of Firestorm probably. Does not have Dark Rift to get mid. And actually, they're just gonna back out and try and push the waves. They're not getting pushed to death.
Yeah, whenever you see, like, top and bottom are past the river, pushing in mid would be extremely difficult. They might lose Undershock here. He doesn't have TP.
Good play there to break the passive, but now the rotation in, the Terrorize out, and Bedlam as well. All right, well, Dark Willow is just gonna get out of there now, it looks like. Nope, ends up getting caught by the sleep. And so Dark Willow will be punished.
That was close. If he had gotten that TP off, that would have just been like salt in the wound. Because they needed to get a kill there. Like, one person needed to go down at least. What did the Jug... Okay, he did go for Manta. I was curious because I've seen a lot of Jugs just go for, like, the double down on AoE against heroes like EL. Like, they'll go for Maelstrom and Battle Fury, or Mjolnir and Battle Fury. But this game, he probably needs the Manta just to be able to get rid of things like Haze outside of spin. You can Manta, like, lances and stuff like that. And he'll obviously need an AC as well, just because of the other Titan. Oh my god, man, screw you, just exploded.
I mean, I guess you take the Omni Slash. It's still a nice little chunk of gold for them there. It's an 8,000 gold lead right now. The wraparound is coming, though. They're going to take down Cheshire Cat. He falls! And now BZZ comes out of dragon form, and oh, they can't even find a kill there onto the poor old Rubik. It is falling apart.
I mean, even if he got that split off, I don't even know if he wanted to split there. Because what do you do after you use a split if you want to take a team fight? Like, you use it to just save your own life. It's like the same reason why when 5 heroes are killing a Tide Hunter, the Tide Hunter doesn't use Ravage if there's no one there. Because it's just not going to accomplish it. And I think that's really the story of both games. It's just Vega, they feel like they understand the way to move around the map and how to get the most out of their engagements. And Gambit are just kind of struggling with that.
Struggling is definitely the right word. And, well, the plus side, if any at all, is like you talked about, this PL is going to get more and more of a problem, building towards that heart. Do you think he has the capability of solo carrying this game?
It is definitely possible, yeah.
Okay.
Even with, like, the net worth deficit that they're currently at, PL is that type of hero where if played correctly and itemized well, you can bring a game back. Because they really only have, like, 1 or 2 ways of dealing with it. And if you can circumvent that and get yourself in a good position in a fight and win a couple of engagements, then yeah, I could easily see them coming back.
Alright. Well, they have been able to outlast a lot of this age. Just about a minute left before it expires, and it looks like with that, Vega want to try and push their advantage towards high ground. So, key spells to watch this one. Brew Split available. Omni Slash, back off cooldown. Dragon Form when it's going to come out. Anything else?
Oh. I think you covered the important ones. Oh, bad score. Oh, boy.
He is down. Now, a stomp. Looking like they want to put themselves in position. The healing ward's still living here as well. They're going to get the Earth Splitter off. Oh, immediately lifted, though, as he tried to go for it. He is still going to be able to get the split off, though, and now the turnaround is they're trying to bring down Blizzy. He's just going to go for the Dark Rift. No fuss, no muss cancels it. Turns around. Okay. A lift up, though, onto Juggernaut. He's not there for this second part of the fight, and BZZ already brought down so freaking low, is gonna die. The Dark Willow manages to kill him off and the Terrorize to push them back. He's still drunk in haze. Now the Omni Slash, nope, hasn't ended up being expended yet. Cheshire Cat's starting to fall down low. Fatimos looking forward for it. Has that Omni if he wants, but the spin TP away as Aegis expires. They realize they can't do anything else here as Undershock's starting to get ran down as well. He doesn't have the mana right now for his DP, and so he's just going to give his life and hope that the Underlord can get out. But,
oh, that was a nice stall. Are they going to be able to get him?
Yeah, I think that this guy is dead as well. Blizzy, no TP on him, and well, Vega lose another. So the push ends up failing, and Gambit hold their high ground. They did lose the tier 3.
Yeah, the overcommitment to go in like that and try to get the kill on the DK. I mean, I guess like killing BZZ is worth it, but what ended up happening is Vanscro throws a cast that like chain stuns 2 heroes. Cheshire Cat gets to re-engage with the clap, and basically they just lose 2 heroes instantly, and then they're all of a sudden on the back foot, and they don't really have an opportunity to use Omni. Because the PL spawning like mass illusions, you don't really want to Omni into that. You want to try to find a hero that's, you know, kind of by himself.
Yeah.
Get something done that way. And yeah, they couldn't kill the Brew in the beginning of the fight either before they split. That's why Blizzy like popped the Dark Rift. It was more of like a reactionary thing. And then as soon as they realized, hey, this isn't actually like super bad for us, we just cancel and we stay.
But of course that put him in a bad position too, because then you can't Dark Rift out, and you end up losing 4. I guess they have shrines open now if they want to go and take those down, and getting themselves set up for the next Roshan. But it does buy some time now for Gambit. And they have a Reaver on the PL, 2,300 HP.
I really would like to see them use smoke right now. Like, they have split again. And Cheshire Cat's close to BKB, but honestly, you know that Roshan's going to be up in like at least the next couple of minutes. There should be a point in which you prioritize like getting out on the map, trying to establish some vision so that you can take the fight. Because if you give Aegis away to Vega, it's going to be real tough. And Vega are pretty much doing what I thought Gambit should do, smoking in.
And now they're going to Dark Rift up top. Again, they don't have an Aegis, but they are still incredibly powerful right now. A DD on Juggernaut. But they're going to back out after they force all those rotations home and now try and control the map.
They're just going to take this DD back to Roche. If it spawns and they see it, they're just going to go back and kill it. Oh, I guess it'll probably be down because it's going to be 25 seconds before it respawns. So yeah, he'll lose a DD. Just be happy with taking the Shrine, making it that much harder for Gambit to kind of get into that position and get the vision they want.
Well, let's see what that timer actually ends up being. 10 seconds till we find out. You mentioned the BKB on Cheshire Cat. He's just about got it now. You also had a BKB completed for Viper, and Juggernaut has a Butterfly. Juggernaut's a big boy.
Oh yeah, he's got super farm right now, and it is a very quick Roshan, so it's only 1 minute. They'll be able to walk back and just kind of hover around the pit for a while if they want, or they could just, you know, walk down a lane like they did before. I feel like they're at such an advantage in terms of itemization because no one really has anything to deal with the Butterfly. It's like there's no MKBs or anything like that. Obviously, no one's even near a Bloodthorn. That item is like a dream for Gambit right now. But
PL, like, thoughts of an MKB on him, which seems like very counterintuitive. I guess it's a little bit better now because like attack speed is going to affect illusions, as he is going to be rooted, and well, it's going to be Zach just walking away after getting a lot of mana drains.
Yeah, no, it's a good choice. Like he needs it because if he doesn't have it, if the jug starts spinning normally, that's when you actually feel like you can do damage to him because that guy has a heart. Spin's not doing enough damage to make you scared when you have a heart. He's got 3,200 HP.
Yeah.
So when that happens, that's when you go in. But if you don't have MKB, then you're not really getting that kind of damage output that you really want during that spin. So that makes the Juggernaut feel very difficult to engage. But if he does have the MKB, then he can just get in there. And yeah, Palantimos is going to go back for the Mjolnir. This is the anti-PL build. You get evasion, you get a lot of attack speed, and you get Battle Fury Mjolnir, and you just auto-attack stuff.
Yeah. I guess then for talent, do you take the armor, not the Blade Fury DPS?
Yeah, I think in these types of games you take armor. Because I believe that plus armor is also a, it's not a base armor edition, it's just a flat plus.
Stun there onto Rubik. He's going to give his life for the cause, or not, because Terrorize is a spell. Oh my goodness, that is insane. And now they've rooted PL. He's going to try and Manta and get out of there as the chase is coming. BKB out for Undershock. Able to catch there onto the ET. He is going to find the sleep, but it is already the Blade Fury used, and now chasing for Dark Willow, living through it. The Bedlam still able to live. And now the turn, the Witch Doctor ultimate, it's off to the side, but I don't know if it's going to end up doing enough. They might be able to bring down that Dark Willow. Split comes out as well. But still, with 2 heroes dead, did they kill him in the duration of that split?
That was a total disaster. Good lord. That Crimson did so much work, actually. That Death Ward was hitting Zayak for like 10 seconds, and he just tanked so many hits because he had that damage block. That was crazy.
I just heard like the Brewmaster go, ha! And then he died. Like, he did not even get a chance to live for like 2 seconds in that split.
Yeah, he got chunked real fast. Like, I think the other 2 Brewlings died to like combination of AoE damage coming in from like the Underlord, Fade Bolts, and then the Bedlam was popped right away. And the Willow didn't die in the Bedlam, so we got the full duration of it off. And yeah, like you said, the split just absolutely freaking melted. And then on top of that, you got the Battle Fury Butterfly Jug just cleaving you down.
Wow. Well, Aegis is still around. They take down the PL as it was trying to pull the creep wave past. Does not end up working. Was he going to start to take some damage there? Does still have a soul ring, so the mana drain isn't going to be the worst thing in the world, but a 13,000 net worth lead. And Vega still sticking around here in this one, as there is not that much that they have to worry about. They still have Dark Rift as well if they want to back out, and it looks like they're going to go back for the Shrines after taking the tier 3 mid.
Dire's bottom shrines.
I mean, they're in really good shape. They got the Aegis, they got a cheese. They can take their sweet time. There is no rush at this point in time. Like, the biggest threat on the enemy team is still the PL. I mean, the DK, he's got BKB Blank, which is nice, but they're running into damage problems again. They got 1 hero, really, that does damage. And I wouldn't say that's a product of their draft. I would say that's just how the game kind of played out.
Yeah.
Like, the moves that Vega made just ended up being more effective. You know, they had rotations that got objectives. You know, they've gotten Roshan both times. Gambit really haven't gotten out on the map in a good while. So it's reached that stage where Vega are just feeling really comfortable.
Cheshire Cat now is going to do the best that he can to cut the creep wave, I'm thinking, but it is feeling very, very tough right now. He does have his BKB, as Undershock is going to chase, so BKB TP is available, although they get the lift, and now the Underlord coming in. It might be... Nah, he's going to still get out of there.
Dire's bottom barracks are under attack.
Heart
This is,
heal.
yeah, he's got the heart, and it's nice and everything, but before the MKB, he's not really doing enough.
No.
Like, he needs... I don't even know if you can...
Radiant's top tower.
This situation is really tough for a carry, because part of you says, I need to save for buyback, right? And then part of you says, if I don't have this MKB, does my buyback even freaking matter?
Yeah.
Like, you kind of need to make a decision. Do I want to all in with the item to try to win the fight, or do I want to save for buyback and not lose?
Well, and now they again get the split off on the back lines, trying to chase down anybody. They get the lift up there, but now the turnaround as they're doing a lot of damage here from the side. They're able to steal Dragon Tail Flash Mode, thinking about popping that Omni Slash. Now it's a good sleep onto several. The Terrorize forces back the illusions, and well, now they get the Dragon Tail onto the PL. He's rooted, he's trying to run. Doppelganger comes out, he escapes, but they do take down BZZ. And still, Latimos going to, or rather, Cheshire Cat going to be chased down, and pops his BKB. They're still hanging on to Omni Slash. Doesn't have enough mana to use it now. His Undershock taking the damage. Eats the cheese. The Doppelganger away again. They're still hanging on here as the sleep is out. And Gambit going to end up losing this ranged barracks. But will they get any more? Another lift there onto Cheshire Cat. He does not have his ulti anymore. He is going to fall. Tactic as well. Going to be rooted. He's doing a good bit of... He's not doing like anything at all. Crimson Guard, everything. It is just not working for them. Cheshire Cat tries to bring down Zyke. It's still not going to happen. Another sleep there onto Patimos, but he's still hanging on to the Aegis. Not falling in the least bit. They take down the Brew. They might bring down the Jug, but it's only one time. And he has Omni Slash when he comes out of this as well. Force tapping away Blizzy. This PL trying to chase. And if he can get within range, he is making a beeline right now for the good Glimmer. Keeps alive PL. Maybe a chance here. They're turning onto him, trying to bring down this Jug. They got him slept. They got him stunned. They can't get the kill, though. Looks like the answer is no. They don't have the Maledict on him either. The chase, they just want this Jug kill so badly, but the entire team of Vega is trying to get it, able to get away. The Dark Rift, it's not going to be in time. They bring down the Jug. But my God, it took a lot.
Yeah, that was quite the commitment. I mean, that just showcases, though, like, they don't really have damage, but they still can't really kill the PL. Like, Daxic was alive that whole time. You know, he was just hitting people, getting mana burn on everyone, just making sure that they couldn't cast all their spells. Like, that's pretty much why they won the fight. He just kept putting illusions on different people until they were out of mana. Yeah. And then, as soon as they're out of mana, then you can, you know, try to engage. And if there's no spells to save, you know, they couldn't get the Juggernaut out. He couldn't even get his healing word down for more than like a second, because the Phantom Rush on the illusions just ran it down and just killed it instantly.
Yeah.
So that was very well played by the PL player especially.
Well, and you know, it was almost a 20,000 net worth lead earlier. Now it's down to about 13. It's a big swing. Actually, I should say it was about 17,000. So 4,000 gold swing roughly. They did get that lane of barracks, but I always feel like there's these games sometimes where like you're taking buildings, but then you start to get to a situation where you don't win fights as easily, and then the enemy team can start to pull it back a little bit. And now this PL, you mentioned the problem of not having damage. He has an MKB now.
Yeah, that's the big one. That's the item where it's like, okay, now this hero is going to do enough damage to just go into the fight and be able to get kills quickly. So now it's a more concerning matter, I think, for Vega. And I think they wanted to definitely get the second set of racks there instead of being like pushed back. But I guess now we can wait to see what the next Roshan timer is going to be. So in 60 seconds, we'll have the short or the long spawn. And then if Vega can get their hands on that, that's a refresher shard.
Which can make so much of a difference. I wonder who do you give that to?
I would probably give it to Jug, honestly.
Okay.
Like 2 Omnis is crazy. They have Greaves, right? Or Arcanes at least. Yeah, they have Greaves. So he should have enough mana to use everything.
Okay. I guess it kind of depends also on if PL is able to stick on top of him also, but...
Yeah, if he gets his mana burned, obviously it's gonna be a little bit harder, but if he can get Omni or 2 off in a team fight, that would be nice. I see an Omni last fight?
No, I don't think he did.
He was gonna Omni the PL, but he got Glimmered.
Yeah.
And then that was like it. Then he had to run away.
Solutions coming in here. I don't know. It's a 12k net worth lead, but I am starting to get like ever so slightly concerned about their ability to deal with this PL, which is something we've touched on so many times, but I don't know. You picking up what I'm putting down?
No, I feel that vibe, 100%.
Okay.
Like I definitely feel and that's why I said earlier, even when the game was looking a little bit more bleak for Gambit, that there is the possibility that PL can just win this game, because that's just the nature of the hero against the Vega lineup. Like the Viper does nothing, the Rubik does nothing, the Dark Willow does nothing. It's like you pretty much got Underlord and Jug, and that's it. Yeah. I like this though. This Dark Rift with the 5-man smoke right into the DK.
Oh, beautiful! That's how you use this hero. The Fear and Dead. He does that buyback, but forcing a buyback at this stage would be great. And Roche still a minute away.
That was pretty slick. I haven't seen that one before. I mean, maybe I have, but I forgot. Who knows?
Middle tower is under attack.
It's late/early, however you want to look at it. But yeah, they're coming up to the tier 3, gonna force a buyback. Probably just go for Roche if they see the DK.
Just trying to tear through these illusions is so difficult, and instead they're just going to focus on the buildings. Don't worry about the PL, and hopefully he won't kill y'all, as the buyback does come now. The Earth Splitter going out as well, not going to connect onto anybody. And in fact, a couple of them are being rooted now as well. So they will retreat after the buyback, and maybe go back for Roshan, which will be respawning in 30 seconds.
Yeah, this is the one that I think Gambit really want to try to stop. Like, Refresher Shard is just like one of those game-ending things. And they do have another Titan, so they're not bad fighting around the Roshan pit. They got that Witch Doctor as well. He gets a well-placed death ward. They know that Rosh is on the menu. They're going to pop the smoke. And... oh, they actually have a ward down, too. So they're going to have, like, some semblance of vision over the area.
They see right now Lizzie, and that is it. They're walking into the pit themselves, and, well, Rosh, it's going to spawn for them. They see it, but now the movement forward. Lizzie need to be careful. They throw out the Terrorize Disable, connect on several of them. This is a long disable. The Omni Slash, they're taking him down. They get the Bruce split off, though. They're able to turn it. Now, can they find enough damage coming out from this PL? He's getting broken, which means no illusions are being created. They're starting to take down that PL low, but he has that heart regeneration if he's able to stay out of the fight for a couple of seconds. Fatimos backs out again. It's a good three-person sleep. And now with the Bruce split wearing off, the question is, can they deal with all these illusions just running at him? They take down the Rubik. Cursed Crown, doppelgangered away from it. And the rest of the Radiant need to back out.
Oh, that was so close, actually. The PL and the Brew were so low, and they just didn't get killed. Like, he got the BKB and the split off before he dropped. This was an enormous victory for Gambit. Like, the net worth doesn't really display it, but if Vega had gotten their hands on this, it probably would have just been the end of the game. But now, you know, this is an opportunity for where Gambit can maybe do something.
Now they're walking forward. There's going to be the blink. My dog is going crazy. She's upset about the prospects of Gambit potentially losing this one. They drop it down more. Zayak hits the three-person Terrorize. Fatimos takes him down as well. They get the fear there on the PL. He's broken as well, so he's not able to get away with the illusions. Undershock running. Oh, God, they're trying to take him down. Fan score as well falling. Nova's gone crazy. Fatimos hits the Blade Fury, and now they're running back to try and take down Roshan. It's almost dead. They're almost able to get it from the stomp. He gets the BKB, picks up everything. Fatimos gets it. Oh.
Man, he was ready for that. He, like, just spam clicked that. He got all three in, like, a quarter of a second. That was crazy. I can't believe the PL didn't just, like, fully go in there to try to get it. He's so tanky. Like, even if he gets hit a couple of times, if he gets one of the items, it's worth it. Like, if he gets Cheese, or the Refresher, or the Aegis, like, any one of the three would have been nice.
And now, 24 levels on this Juggernaut. He can get towards maybe that Omni Slash strikes if he wants to, and, well, he's going to keep a hold of the Aegis, the Cheese, and the Refresher Shard as they move forward. 24 seconds on the sideline with this Dragon Knight.
I'm actually not sure. I mean, the Omni bounces are really good, but health is not bad in this game at all.
Yeah. Fatimos taking down those barracks, and they're starting to hit away again as they are bringing down the Witch Doctor as well, trying to find that kill. Undershock running away again. They're keeping him back. Oh, God, Nova, what are you doing? My dog is crazy. Fatimos hits away again. As Navik, they hit the stomp, trying to run. PL still continuing to burn through that mana, and now they got him caught. The Omni Slash is out, the fear as well. They're going to end up bringing down this PL. I do believe that might be game, as he's dead for 80 seconds on the sideline. Everything's still pretty much there for Vega Squadron as they're going to stream forward and take down this ranged barracks and most likely get Megas, although they did catch the Willow. Well, Coconuts are bouncing back and forth. Willow actually lived through it. Bruce puts not enough to take her down, but they do find her with the clap. Still, 3 heroes now dead on the sidelines. No buyback on any of them. Vega eyes on the prize, going for the buildings.
Didn't the PL have buyback? I could have sworn he had buyback before they pushed mid. Did he buy an item?
He bought the Reaver for the Satanic.
No. He bought